Under pressure from Republicans, work has begun to remove the large yellow Black Lives Matter Plaza in D.C. The mural is located 1 block from the White House. This comes as new legislation threatens to withhold millions in federal funds from the city unless the mural is removed and the plaza renamed. The mural was created in 2020, days after protests over the murder of George Floyd erupted across the country.
They started the destruction of the Black Lives Matter mural on Black Lives Matter Plaza in DC today. And I say destruction instead of reconstruction because they are actually literally destroying the street in order to just repave it. Now, it took millions of dollars to actually design this mural, and they are saying that it's going to take hundreds and thousands of dollars to actually reconstruct it. But I just want to stress again that they are actually using our tax dollars to destroy this street, just to reconstruct it and redesign it, when we are literally getting ready to go into a recession. I also hear that they are going to rename the plaza as well, and as of today they have not actually confirmed that yet and confirmed the actual new name. Now, this mural is actually north of the White House, so I believe this is something that number 47 has to see every time that he flies into the White House. So of course he wants it gone. Is this helping our economy? Is this actually helping anyone save money? Do you know anyone that this is actually going to help? Let me know.
My people, I understand that they are going to completely erase the Black Lives Matter paint that is on the pavement up in DC. Don't move. Do not move and do not engage. Let them do everything that they're doing. It is no point in getting upset and outraged over it because you got bigger fish to fry. Drink you some water, get you some therapy, pick up your hobbies, go ahead and start storing up for this projected recession that is coming in the months, because these are things that we knew would be inevitable. So focus on that. Focus on that. Rest. Drink your water. Get your therapy. Start your hobbies. Work. Pray. Repeat. But do not engage. Do not allow yourself to be enraged. Do not become fazed by these small little things that are literally bait. There's no sense in getting mad about something that you knew was coming, especially if you have been alert in the past 6 weeks. It's okay. Let them do it.
Hey peeps, I know that we all know the rules of engagement by now, but I just want to put out a reminder. This is bait. This is bait.
I'll just spin for just a second, Les. You can see, remember the St. John's Church, the center of the riots and protests of the BLM in the summer of 2020? Obviously, this here is where they erected this Black Lives Matter plaza and painted on the street. But as you mentioned, it's not just being painted over, John. It's being torn up. Let me show you. We've just watched hours of a jackhammer tearing up some bollards that lined the street. They had lights on them. This is where the word matter was. The next block, lives, and then the next block, black. So these crews are out here actually tearing up the bollards to begin tearing the entire street up. It says it's going to take them days to do this because of the amount of work, but they're ultimately going to return this entire 16th Street back to just a paved road. No, nothing painted in here. No Black Lives Matter.
They want us out in those streets real bad. And so they are doing stuff like this to incite anger within us. They are playing with our emotions, and they want to use us to bring about martial law. Oh, the big, bad, scary black people, yeah, they're causing havoc. There's violence in the street. They are causing destruction. Let's implement martial law because that's what we've been trying to do all along. traumatize us, beat and batter us, murder us, and then use us to implement martial law. Don't allow them to do that. Don't allow them to use your emotions to hurt you. Don't allow them to do that. Don't allow them to play with your emotions. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be feeling angry. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be feeling frustrated or disappointed or hurt. Feel all of the feelings. I just want you to understand what it is that they are trying to do. Don't allow them to use your emotions to hurt you. Please stay home. Don't let them use you. Learn how to bake bread. Cook that one pot pasta meal that everybody is talking about from the Duchess, Megan of Sussex series over on Netflix. Everybody's talking about how good that one pot pasta meal. I've seen the lemon raspberry cake that she showcased. People are baking that. Yeah. Get on the treadmill. Read a book. Like I said, take a nap. One of my favorite pastimes. Here's what the mayor put out. Mayor Bowser, Muriel Bowser. She says, we have long considered Black Lives Matter Plaza evolution, and the plaza will be part of DC's America 250 mural project, where we will invite students and artists to create new murals across all 8 wards. The mural inspired millions of people and helped our city through a very painful period. But now we can't afford to be distracted by meaningless congressional interference. The devastating impacts of the federal job cuts must be our #1 concern. Our focus is on economic growth, public safety, and supporting our residents affected by these cuts. Don't let them use you. Them removing Black Lives Matter from the roadways shouldn't change your outlook on Black Lives Mattering. Because over here, Black lives will always matter.
Let me get this straight. Let me understand this, because I need a clear understanding of what's going on. You mean to tell me a country that is heading for a recession, got tariff wars with all kind of people, unsolved crimes, so airplanes just free falling out the sky, that ain't explained. All of these different things that's going on that are major, the biggest fish that we have to fry in the United States, y'all worrying about a mural on the street? We headed for a recession, but you got money to pay workers to tear up the Black Lives Matter mural off the ground? Come on, y'all. Come on. If that ain't to provoke people of color to act a doggone fool, I don't know what it is. Don't take the bait, y'all. Don't fall into the trap, because that's exactly what it is. This country has way more bigger fish to fry than to be worrying about a damn mural that been on the street for umpteen years. Come on. The level of pettiness, y'all, the reaction that they seeking so freaking bad. Say something, please, y'all. Ruffle their feathers in some type of way so we can get them to act out of character. Right game, wrong race. FAFO. Hello. Bye, y'all.
We're approaching the Black Lives Matter Plaza and the mural that's going to be taken down today and erased, essentially.
It's a sign of the times. We have a whole different type of person in the office.
And to me, it almost seems like he's saying Black lives don't matter. It's a sad world, sad nation we're in.
This is something good that the city wanted to do for African Americans.
Some residents in the local community have gathered around to watch this take place.
The fact that you're removing it, you're erasing it, it's like they're trying to erase our history.
This iconic painting has been here for 4.5 years. It represents a symbol of activism and resistance. But why is this happening? Well, DC Mayor Bowser was given an ultimatum by Republican lawmakers: either paint over the slogan or risk losing federal funding.
It's just petty and hateful and wrong.
I'm totally against this. Totally.
I don't believe that this is happening. I just thought it would always be here. It's a part of history.
You can tear up the concrete, but you can't erase the history. You can't erase how people feel about this plaza.
I can't even talk no more. I'm lost. I'm at loss for words right now.
US Representative and Republican Andrew Clyde introduced legislation that also called for the area in downtown where I am now to be renamed from Black Lives Matter Plaza to Liberty Plaza.
I'm Black Lives Matter every day, 24/7, and I know the contributions that black people made to this country, that they think by removing the word black and removing the word indigenous and removing the word discrimination and racism is somehow going to erase the history of America and how America became great. No, it won't.
It's an insult and insensitive. I think this is hallowed ground. I also think that it is a statement about power by the person who occupies the White House to take away autonomy from Washington.
I'm here at Black Lives Matter Plaza today, finding out people's opinion on it getting torn down.
Well, it's very unfortunate, and from my understanding, it'll be gone tomorrow. So I wanted to bring my two granddaughters to get them to see a part of history, because this will be history, but unfortunately it'll probably be erased, so we'll have photos and memories of it.
It's very unfortunate that this is what it's come to. I don't really see the benefit or the gain from removing something like this. I feel like it's something that's been a staple for, power and people in the community all over.
The fact that this is offensive to people is mind-boggling to me.
Here we are. We knew this was going to happen. I think we've heard rumblings about this. I've heard rumors, but it's official. D.C. is going to remove the Black Lives Matter painting from the street near the White House due to pressure from Donald Trump and from congressional Republicans. Everything they do, everything they've done regarding DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, has been an attempt to silence and diminish the lived experience of black Americans. That's what Black Lives Matter is about. It's about acknowledging their lived experience in this country, which is different than people who look like me. Combine this with the fact that they are constantly attacking DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. I mean, what person could be against diversity, equity, and inclusion? These are perfectly fine traits, but they're against it because they view it as an affront to their supremacy. And doing this, removing the Black Lives Matter painting from downtown D.C. is another example. They've also removed the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Joint Chiefs chairman, who is a qualified African-American who met all the qualifications, did all the right things, claiming he was there because of DEI. And who do they put in place? They put an unqualified white guy, a guy who did not meet the qualifications and had to have an exemption made and had to have a waiver signed by the President of the United States, all while claiming the qualified African-American man was unqualified. Again, I've said this before, when they say DEI, you know what word they really want to use.
Remember 5 years ago when everybody joined together and agreed that what happened to George Floyd was completely inhumane and racist? And everybody just came together and finally acknowledged that Black Lives Matter, to the point where even a plaza was created in D.C. Well, now that plaza is being removed. Under this new administration, the Trump administration, you had one Republican, Andrew Clyde from Georgia, pretty much give an ultimatum to D.C. that if they did not remove this plaza, that federal funding would be cut from D.C. And Mayor Bowser pretty much capitulated within 24 hours, which is disappointing. She showed no fight. She made no type of argument about it. She did say that there was a priority to ensure that obviously funding remained strong with DC. I get that. But as I heard Roland Martin say, what about other priorities, like maybe maintaining our dignity as a people? Because it's very clear that right now, Black America is under attack. You have certain corporations rolling back on DEI, even though I know DEI can help other communities more, but it still is a symbol of we don't really want to hire people of color. That's really what it seems to symbolize, like when they say they're rolling back on DEI. Then you had even just the NFL erase in racism during the Super Bowl. There's just all of these different symbolisms or actions being taken that clearly show that there is an attack on Black America. So here we are again with yet another example of that. And a top political figure not fighting back, which is why I said on a previous post, it is really going to be up to the people to fight back. Because getting rid of that plaza to me says that you think that my life doesn't matter as an African American, but what I do know is that my life does matter. And what I do know is that we as Black Americans are citizens of this country. And just as the Declaration of Independence states, we have the unalienable right to life, liberty, and our pursuit of happiness. Ironically, they want to rename that Plaza Liberty, yet you want to take away my liberty. You want to take away my freedoms. But we aren't going to let that happen. We know what to do. Our ancestors have fought for us to have the rights we have today, and their blood runs through us. So we know how to continue to fight for our right to equality.
You know, every day I wake up lately, I find myself saying, maybe today will be the day that Donald Trump, grows up. Well, today's not the day. Here, they've started tearing up the Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, D.C. today. So, where's Elon? Where you at, buddy? Because this looks like fraud, waste, and abuse to me. Tearing all this up just to own the libs? Because there really is no other explanation for doing this other than to piss off Democrats and liberals. So Trump and MAGA took a big giant leap in trying to get rid of the Black Lives Matter movement that has been around since 2013, 2014. The hashtag started because of Trayvon Martin after Jason Zimmerman got off. But it really took off in 2014 after the Michael Brown and Eric Garner murders. And while there are many other that happened in between, the most recent case that really sparked the plaza was the George Floyd murder from Derek Chauvin. So make no mistake, America, of what this symbolizes. This represents the Republican Party and Donald Trump saying, we don't care about Black people being killed by police. We don't want to see that represented anywhere. We're tired of the divisiveness that this creates. I'm sorry, folks, this isn't divisive. This is trying to be more inclusive. This is trying to say that we see our fellow Black Americans and that we see this problem that is occurring and that we would like to be allies. And what Donald Trump and MAGA just did today is say they don't give a shit.
Currently, as we speak, Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has decided to comply with some of the Trump anti-DEI initiatives, one of them being the removal of Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, D.C. Now, if you live in most major cities, there were a lot of Black Lives Matter plazas that were erected throughout cities to really acknowledge the millions of people who took to the streets over the course of those couple years. I recognize that there were a lot of issues within the Black Lives Matter movement, especially what it ended up devolving to, the willingness to give up on crucial steps, the abolishing the police into defunding the police, into no police departments were defunded, and in fact a significant portion of police departments actually increased their funding over these years. All of these things are a stark reminder to all of us that when it comes to organizing, when it comes to fighting against fascistic, tyrannical systems, it is never okay to give in. Your movement cannot try to placate the more liberal, the more moderate, because every time it does, in the end, it will be dismantled. Black Lives Matter Plaza has symbolized across the country, symbolizes to me a fight that never ended, a fight that it still continues. And at the end of the day, destroying a plaza does not stop a movement, but it is very, very disheartening to see it happen. And so I'm going to implore people to continue to organize, to continue to find groups to be a part of, to continue to fight against the fascism. Because at the end of the day, the fascism never stops with the bad guys or the people that you don't like. Fascism, as it's intended, is to come after all of us.
Well, the Republicans and Trump are at it again. I mean, they just can't find anything good and important to put their energy towards. They put so much pressure on DC. DC started removing the Black Lives Matter Plaza. I mean, really, come on. Is that urgently important at the moment? Oh my God. Bullshit.
So, most of y'all have seen or heard that they're removing the Black Lives Matter mural in Washington. They're removing it, and now they're going to make it Liberty Plaza. This just goes to show, in my opinion, it's just a call to try to get black people to protest, but what they fail to realize is we're not doing it. It's bait, and we're not doing it. But also what they don't realize is removing that Black Lives Matter mural does not change anything. We will continue to fight for change because Black Lives Matter and they always will. No matter what these people do, they cannot erase Black history. It will never go anywhere. And that very White House, where those executive orders are signed, was built by Black people. Again, history will not be erased. So we're going to continue on our day, and we will continue to fight for change. And just because they're removing the mural, Black people don't get upset. It's just to get us out in these streets, and we're not. And we're going to continue to mind our business like we always do. I never understand why Black people are the most hated when all we do is mind our business. That's all that we do. So why is it that we're the most hated? I will never understand that. But yet, again, we're going to carry on with our day like we always do. And just because they're removing that mural, it does not change anything.
Players. So according to reporting yesterday, they began dismantling Black Lives Matter Plaza. As we all know, Black Lives Matter Plaza was put there after the murder of George Floyd. Now, according to reporting, the mayor ordered the dismantlement of the plaza because of Frumpy Dump's administration threats to withhold funding. Let's talk about it. So again, work to remove Black Lives Matter Plaza began yesterday, which is a day after more than 50 members of the fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi gathered to remind people what the ground's mural means to the African American community. Now, erasing the mural on the street leading to the White House is expected to take 6 to 8 weeks and cost more than $610,000. The DC mayor announced plans to remove the large yellow lettering last week that has been a landmark since it was installed in 2020, acknowledging that she made the move after pressure from guess who? The White House. Now, as I said previously, 50 members of the fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi gathered on Sunday to remind people what the plaza actually means, and they sang "Lift Every Voice and Sing." According to one of the members, they said, "This will always be because Black Lives Matter. We're not protesting. We recognize the meaning. We recognize why this has to be done. We support the local officials, but we want it to be known. You can erase this, but you cannot erase our history." I'm going to go ahead and keep it a stack with your players. Some people believe that the mayor moved too quickly on this, like it was just a threat. Why wouldn't you wait a little while before you actually move to do such a drastic thing? However, you know, maybe she didn't want to end up like Maine. As previously reported, the Trump administration actually cut 2 contracts for the hospital that allowed new parents to get Social Security numbers for their newborns. Now, after fallout, they did go ahead and restore those contracts, but maybe the mayor just didn't want to take a chance. I don't know. You know, it's up for debate, definitely. Either way, we know this administration is all about the get back, all about retribution. So maybe she just didn't want to go through that and focus on other things. I want to know what you all think. Do you think it was important for the mayor to not fold in this situation and stand for this monument that meant so much to so many people? Or do you think the federal funding was more important? Y'all put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. This is your girl, Double D Mova, reporting once again for the Black Accurate News.
So now Sunday, hey family, we are here at the site of Black Lives Matter, and I can't believe my eyes. This is, hey, good to see you again. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is the site. Yes, we did. How you doing, my sister? Good to see you again.
So this is your what time?
Yeah, 30th. 30th time. 1,300 miles. 1,300 miles. They are about to take all this up. I'm about to pray over this. Can't believe it. They really are having our sister, the mayor, take all this up. We got to stand for something. Black lives still matter in 2025. They are literally taking back everything that we have fought for. Not in the past 50 years, but in the past 3 to 4 years. We got to stand up. We got to stand up. We got to stand up. Sister collecting dirt from the site. They are collecting. How you doing, sister? Good. I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. Yes. Thank you, sister. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. They have just utterly started already bulldozing up. Yes. I can't believe it. He got it. Yeah, I know. They told us. We can lay it right here, actually. I'm going to go pray.